For problem number 6, we're going to find all angles between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2, such that the cosine of theta over 2 minus pi over 2 is equal to negative 1. So basically we want to find all solutions. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make a substitution here. I'm going to call this guy alpha. So what I'm looking for is the cosine of alpha when is it equal to negative 1. By making that substitution, I have alpha is equal to theta over 2 minus pi over 2. Multiply both sides by 2. So I get that. So I get 2 theta plus pi is equal, or 2 alpha plus pi is equal to theta. So I'm going to use this right here. So since theta is equal to this, I'm going to insert it into this guy. So negative 2 pi is less than or equal to 2 alpha plus pi less than or equal to 2 pi. So this was my theta, and I got that from over here. Now I'm going to subtract pi from both sides, so negative pi over, it's not over anything, it's just negative pi over 3. I got a step ahead of myself. So negative 3 pi is less than or equal to 2 alpha, which is less than or equal to pi. So alpha is going to be between negative 3 pi over 2 and pi over 2. So let's draw out our picture. So here's our circle. Now the only time cosine is negative 1 is back here. And that's going to occur at some multiple of pi. Well, the angles we're looking at are negative 3 pi over 2, which starts up here. And we're going to go all the way to pi over 2. So negative pi over 2, negative 3 pi over 2. And I'm going to travel along. Remember, I'm going from there to here, so I've got to go counterclockwise. Now here's when I hit an angle, and that angle is at negative pi. I keep traveling. Don't hit anything yet where the cosine's negative 1. And I keep traveling until I hit pi over 2. So the only time I ever hit the cosine value of negative 1 was at negative pi. So that means that alpha is equal to just negative pi. Well, if alpha is equal to negative pi, what's theta? So theta is 2 times alpha plus pi. So this is going to be negative 2 pi plus pi. So this is going to give me negative pi. It's just a coincidence that these two guys are the same. So if we check that, what that says is if we take the cosine of negative pi over 2 minus pi over 2, that'll be the cosine of negative pi, which is equal to negative 1. Graphically, if we check that, I'll put in cosine of pi over 2 minus, cosine of theta over 2 minus pi over 2. And let's see, when is it equal to negative 1? And if I graph those guys out, I see that at negative pi, they cross.